Hey guys, today we are going to do our other polynomial operation, which is division. So we'll be on page 21 and 22 in your notes. So the first set of blanks is synthetic division can be used to divide polynomials when the divisor is a binomial. So when you look at what you're doing, this is called the dividend. And this is called the divisor. So when it's a binomial, that's when we're going to use synthetic division. So step one is we set the divisor equal to 0. So I'm going to do x plus 3 equals 0. I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. So x is negative 3. So negative 3 is what I'm going to use to divide. And I'm going to put it in a little half box there. Then we're going to make sure our dividend is in standard form. So that means that whatever exponent I start with, I have a 3, then I have a 2, then I have a 1, and then I have 0. So once it's in standard form, we write out the coefficients in order next to the number that we just put in the box. And then we're going to skip down a little bit and we're going to put a line. Then we're going to bring down the first coefficient, which is 5. And then we're going to multiply the coefficient times the number in the box. So 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. So we brought down the first coefficient, and then we're going to add the values in the column. So 17 minus 15 is 2. And so we're going to write that down. And then we're going to multiply again. So negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. 7 plus negative 6 is 1. Then we're going to multiply again. So negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. And we're going to add that. And so the last column is our remainder. So I'm going to put it in a box that looks a little bit different, just so I remember that that's my remainder. And then we're going to rewrite these numbers. And we're going to start with the coefficient that's one less, or the exponent that's one less than what we started with. So where we started with x to the third, now we have x squared. And then we just go in order. So we have x squared plus 2x plus 1. And then here, our remainder, if we had one, would go on top of the fraction, and the x plus 3 goes on the bottom. And so that is our answer. Let's look at a couple more examples. So here, x minus 8 is our divisor. We're going to set that equal to 0. Go ahead and add 8 to both sides. So x is 8. So 8 goes in our little box. Then we're going to look at our polynomial here, and it has to be in order and it has to include everything. So x cubed is the biggest exponent. So I'm going to rewrite it as negative 10x cubed. And then I'm going to find my x squared term because that comes next. If I don't have one, I'll just put a 0. But I have one of all of them this time. So x cubed, x squared, x, and then the constant goes last. So then I'm going to take those numbers and I'm going to write them in order. Make sure you include the sign. And I'm going to bring down my first term. Then I'm going to multiply. So 8 times negative 10 is negative 80. 83 minus 80 is just 3. So I'm going to multiply again. 8 times 3 is 24. Negative 26 plus 24 is going to give me negative 2. 8 times negative 2 is negative 16. 6 plus negative 16 is going to give me negative 10. And negative 10 is going to be my remainder. So I'm going to write negative 10 first. That's where this one is. And since I started with x cubed, this is going to be x squared. So I've got negative 10x squared plus 3x minus 2. And then I'm going to put my remainder over what I started with was x minus 8. And that's my answer. So here we have another one. I'm going to do x plus 2 equals 0. Minus 2 on both sides. So x equals negative 2. And then here, my polynomial, it has an x cubed term and an x squared term, but it doesn't have an x term. So I'm going to do plus 0x and then plus 9. I have to have a coefficient for every exponent. So I'm going to do 6, 12, 0, and 9. Draw my line, bring the first one down, then I start multiplying. So negative 2 times 6 is negative 12. If I add those together, I get 0. So negative 2 times 0 is 0. Add those together, I get 0 again. Negative 2 times 0 is 0. Oops. 9 plus 0 is 9, and that's going to be my remainder. So since we started with x cubed up here, we're going to start with x squared down here. So 6x squared. And then I don't need to put the 0 terms, so I'm just going to move right to the remainder and put 9 over x plus 2. And that's my answer. So you don't have to have one of everything at the end, just at the beginning. All right, we'll do one more. So here we have x plus 2 again. We'll subtract 2 from both sides. So x is negative 2. So I'm going to put negative 2 in my little box. And here I've got 9x cubed plus 18x squared minus 1x. And I don't have a constant, so I'm going to do plus 0. That's the biggest mistake people make, is they forget that extra 0. So 9, 18, negative 1, and 0. So I start by bringing my 9 down. 9 times negative 2 is negative 18. When I add those together, I get 0. Negative 2 times 0 is 0. Negative 1 plus 0 is negative 1. So negative 2 times negative 1 is going to give me 2. So now I have a 2 as a remainder. So since we started with x cubed, we're going to start with x squared as our answer. So we have 9x squared plus, and then it would be 0x minus 1. So you could just do it 9x squared minus 1. Unless you're going to forget, then leave the 0 in there. And then we have plus 2 over x plus 2. And that's our answer. So I could leave it this way too and just do plus 2 over x plus 2. So either one of those is fine. No problem either way. All right, so you're going to practice by doing pages 24 through 28 on Canvas. So answer key. So check Canvas, and I've also worked them out on Canvas so you can see if you made a mistake. If you have any questions, just let me know. I think my PowerPoint worked here. So the answer key